Hello and welcome to this series of presentations from the CERQual project group. In this session, I'll be talking about how to make an overall assessment in CERQual. I'm Simon Lewin from the Norwegian Institute of Public Health and the South African Medical Research Council, and I'm presenting on behalf of the CERQual project group. The learning objective for this session is to understand how to make an overall assessment of confidence for a finding from a qualitative evidence synthesis using the CERQual approach, and also how to create a CERQual summary of qualitative findings table. Why do we need to make an overall assessment of confidence as part of CERQual? There are two reasons for this. Firstly, the overall assessment of confidence in a review finding takes into account the concerns identified in relation to each of the four components. And secondly, the overall assessment provides key information to users of the review findings of the extent to which a review finding is considered to be a reasonable representation of the topic of interest. This slide shows the four components of the CERQual approach. Your overall judgment of confidence in each review finding is based on the assessments you have made for each of the separate components: relevance, methodological limitations, coherence, and adequacy of data. In the CERQual approach, we categorize confidence in a review finding into four levels. High confidence indicates that it is highly likely that the review finding is a reasonable representation of the phenomenon of interest. At the other end of the spectrum, very low confidence suggests that it is not clear whether the review finding is a reasonable representation of the phenomenon of interest. The other two levels of confidence fall in between. I will move on now to discuss the process of making an overall assessment of confidence. In the CERQual approach, all findings start as having high confidence. Your confidence in a finding may then be graded down if you have serious concerns about one or more of the components discussed earlier. Where you have some but not very serious concerns about more than one component, one option is to downgrade once, for instance from moderate to low confidence, to reflect your concerns with several CERQual components. When we are making these judgments, the CERQual approach suggests that we give equal weight to each component. Our experience suggests that an assessment is an iterative process involving moving between the assessment for each component and the overall judgment of confidence in the evidence. We have also found that the process of making overall assessments for each review finding benefits from discussion within the review team. This allows different views to be debated and helps to ensure that a clear rationale for the final assessment is recorded. It's important to remember that the overall assessment is a judgment. You should be transparent and explain your assessment so that others can understand it. I will now discuss how you can present and explain your assessments to users of your review. In the next part of the presentation, I'll describe how you can present findings from qualitative evidence syntheses and CERQual confidence assessments in summary of qualitative findings tables. We see CERQual summary of qualitative findings tables as having a number of aims. First, use of these tables encourages review authors to consider carefully what constitutes a finding in the context of their review, and to express each finding clearly. Second, the tables provide a structured summary of the review findings and the information contributing to the CERQual assessment for each finding. Third, Summary of qualitative findings tables help ensure that review author judgments underlying grade circle assessments are transparent so that others can understand these. Finally, the tables facilitate understanding and use of synthesis findings by end users. This includes uptake of findings into guideline and other processes. The summary of qualitative findings tables is therefore an important part of facilitating the use of your review findings in decision processes. As the final output of the process of making a grade circle assessment, we recommend that a summary of qualitative findings table includes 4 elements: a summary of each review finding, an overall grade circle assessment for each review finding, an explanation of the overall assessment, and reference to the studies contributing data to the finding. Each summary of qualitative findings table may include many individual review findings, each presented in the way shown in the slide now. This brings us to the end of this lecture. I'd like to acknowledge the contributions of the rest of the Grade CERQual project group, listed here, to the material included in this presentation. To learn more about Grade CERQual and for further reading, you can visit our website, join the mailing list via the webpage or email below, or join the Grade CERQual project group via the webpage or email below. Thanks for listening.